For some insight on possible cabinet replacements, I spoke earlier with Allan Lichman, a professor of history at American University. I asked him first about Susan Rice, who's tipped to take over from Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State. It's a name that's generating a great deal of controversy, as we've just heard, among some opposition Republican leaders.
Logic would say no. Why start a big battle with Congress over this right at the beginning of your administration when you've got so many other priorities and you're going to need Congress to go along with you? And you have a great alternative to Susan Rice in Massachusetts Senator John Kerry, who's, head of the Foreign Relations Committee, has tremendous experience, knowledge, has a military background. But politics might say yes. You don't want to give the appointment to Kerry because that creates an open seat in Massachusetts that former Senator Scott Brown, the Republican who won Ted Kennedy's seat, could well win. Plus, maybe Obama wants to put Republicans in a very uncomfortable position of going after an African-American woman. And who don't Republicans do well with? Women and minorities. Do they really want to take on that battle?
Okay, let's look at some of the other big posts. Secretary for Defense.
Yeah, Secretary for Defense, I think he may take the safe route and appoint Deputy Secretary of Defense Ash Carter. It seems to be a fairly consensus choice, would be easy to confirm, and he knows the Pentagon bureaucracy. You put in someone new, they may take up the whole term just learning the ins and outs of the Pentagon. Now, it could be John Kerry, too, right, although apparently he doesn't seem to want defense, he wants state.
Let me throw in something there. Chuck Hagel.
Chuck Hagel would be a great appointment, a Republican, a dying breed, a moderate Republican, who is absolutely knowledgeable about defense, and I think would be loyal to Obama. That would be the sleeper appointment. That would be the one I would make.
Okay, other big one is Treasury Secretary. Timothy Geithner said he's not going to stay in the position any longer. So who takes over there?
Well, it seems like his chief of staff, Mr. Liu, seems to have the inside track. He's not, from Wall Street. He has tremendous experience in government. He's probably confirmable. He wouldn't antagonize the right, although Obama's base would not be real happy about him. If Obama wanted to appease his base, he would probably have to go outside Wall Street and find some kind of maverick, and I doubt if he wants to take that kind of risk with the economy.
Two other names being mentioned for Treasury Secretary. Erskine Bowles.
Yeah, I
he
think...
off the Bowles-Simpson Commission.
Yeah, I don't think Obama wants to tie himself that tightly to the Bowles-Simpson findings, which, after all, he rejected.
Right. The other name being mentioned, Gene Sperling.
Yeah, I think that Sperling is definitely a possibility. That would be another fairly mainstream, fairly safe responsibility, appointment. But I think it's unlikely.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to leave it there. Dr. Lichman, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.